Hey, everyone, and welcome back to Collect Your Thoughts and come with us on vacation. This week, we're talking about the importance of taking a break, decompressing from the day to day, shaking up our routines, and sustaining that vacation vibe. Pack your bags and get aboard. I mean, stay tuned. I'm Jason LeCompte,
And I'm Sean Millhouse.
and this is Collect Your Thoughts. Well, where do you want to start?
Why, Jason? You can't I've been this, and you're asking me how we want to start.
Mhm.
I don't know. I
I
need a
mean,
vacation. How about that? I want a
yeah, that's
vacation.
where
I
I was
want.
going before we did the run through. Yeah, was
Uh,
like, it sounds like you are in need of one, which
yeah.
makes this all the more relevant. Let's talk about it. Why are you in need of one?
For every
Burned
reason
out,
I bitch about in every
tired,
episode, like the
the state
world
of the
is
world.
hard. I don't know
Yes.
how to I'm tired. I think also I feel so like I just hate this. I hate this arrangement that was made centuries ago where we all have to
Mm,
agree to work X amount of hours to I don't know, apparently be worthy of society's
mm,
resources. And then if you can't do that, you're a failure or you're not doing enough. And then yet all the things that and I know I'm somebody that I have access to things and I have supports. And so then I think about all the people that are out there who don't, that I'll never
yeah.
understand the fullness of that. And so then that makes me feel like even more like God, and they can't get a break. They probably can't even do a staycation. So then I'm like, fuck.
Mhm.
So yeah, so it feels kinda dismal because I understand, I feel like maybe I'm in the Asher mindset because I think Asher is always in tune with, even in joyful moments, they seem in tune with the pain of the rest of the people. And so then it's almost, difficult to feel okay about, getting the opportunity to, have nice things when so many people don't have
Oh, yeah.
basics. And
Sure.
so and I know it's I know we can't completely deprive ourselves of joy and but also it feels almost powerless because it's I just want I just want everybody to have the same or at least the basics, and then we can all talk from there. So I think that's just what I'm keenly aware of right now. It's
Yeah,
just
that's
the
fair.
inequity and inequality when it comes to the because I really vacation and time off is a luxury. It's just yeah, it's just that weighs heavily on me. So this episode is wonderful, and I'm very happy for everybody that gets to do vacations and for the kids that get to do vacations. Because those are such amazing experiences. Like anytime I hear about a parent taking their kid on vacation, I always think that if when they're doing it and the reasons why they're doing it, I think
Yeah.
it's really special for them. So I'm grateful for
Yeah.
those kids, and then I can't help but think about the rest. So
I was just talking to my brother yesterday, and he and his son both played hooky. Um, he just took a day off of work because he was burned out, and he knew Liam would love taking a day off of school, and they went to a Mariners game in Seattle. They went to
that's
a
cool.
ball game. I was like, "That's awesome." Yeah. And he was
Yeah.
like, "It was just a random out of the box, like, hey, you wanna go do something fun today?" And, of course, 10 years old, like, of course. But he told me about that, and I was like, nice. Nice little break from reality."
Well, we can tell your brother's not a boomer because that would have never happened if if he was. Because my mom, I mean, yeah, I just remember it's I better have been throwing up or have a full
Yeah.
ass fever or I was
Oh,
going to
yeah.
school.
Yeah.
There was no, yeah, I better, yeah. So I appreciate that there's been a shift in parenting to think of mental health days and also for people who are adults to consider their mental health
Sure.
as well. So good
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah.
Good for, and I hope they had a good time.
That, comment that you made about, like, how long Like, when was it decided that we had to work X amount of hours to and then be productive and blah, 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 like that, like, it is not that old of an idea. Like, we worked for survival,
Yeah.
right? And then industrialization took over, we started working in factories and offices, and then it was decided somewhere in the early 20th century. So we've only been doing this for about 100 years, and we're not adapted, and we shouldn't have to adapt to all of these hours every week, right? Like,
But
it's
how are
this
we gonna keep the
bullshit narrative.
billionaires rich if we don't do the work for them?
Exactly. Right. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy a vacation, time off, time away as much as anybody else. Um,
I think
I think
you
it's
no, no, no,
just
no. You are like, to me, you are my vacation friend. Like, I don't
like
know
the one who
anybody
goes
else
on. Yeah.
who has many vacation experiences into really baller places. Like, you're probably I don't know if I've ever had anybody else in my life who, like, yeah, who has had the level of experiences. Like, it's you I feel like you're kind of on this echelon of, like, travel that
Mm.
is very aspirational for someone like me. So it's
Well, thanks. Yeah.
very yeah, like, it's cool to watch, and it's also like, "That's nice."
It's enviable for sure. It's
Yeah,
a privilege to be able to do that.
yeah.
I know that. Yeah, I know. It does. I mean, it does feel good to take vacations, to take time away. It's a break from the routine. It's new experiences. It's sun when there's no sun at home. It's whatever whatever that is. What's good about breaks for you? Is it similar things?
I mean, everything. I just like I like knowing that there's nothing set on my schedule. I'm
Mm,
somebody that at least like because so I we talked about this. I definitely I I'm a staycation guy because I every now and then go home guy like to Kansas City
sure.
because it's just not affordable for me to do a lot more than that. So then, like, for me, like, I think also because of it also depends on, like, the where I'm at with my work and myself, and so a lot of times, like, I just deeply look forward to just nothingness, like,
Mm,
just having just whatever I feel like doing that day, and I like that freedom. I think that's the thing is I just realize more and more the older I get, the more I like just not feeling like I have to subscribe to any system for that day that is not my own, and that means I can be as attached to something that is interesting or fun, but also something that might be completely just like what other people call lazy.
sure. Systems like the work system, or is that what you mean by like systems that are not your own?
I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
I was like, I'm doing my best. Sorry.
Yes, it's great. No, it's great. There is something about, well, actually, was just talking to you about it. That my husband's going out of town for a couple of days. And to
Mhm.
me, like, I love my husband, and it's a vacation from him or from our routines together, right? I get to take time by myself. And I even told you, like, I'm going to take probably an extra day off and literally do nothing. And I'm really looking forward to that, right? I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to just napping and laying around and being lazy and petting the dog and snacking and just being, right? Not having to, the way I've talked about it before is I don't have to negotiate anything with anyone else for any reason, right?
Welcome to my life.
Got, I
That's
mean,
why I
that's
kind of love
great.
my life at times, you
Sure.
know?
Yeah. No, it's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for
Yeah.
me, that's something that I'm like looking forward to and kind of planning for is like,
Mhm.
to just do nothing or anything that I want. I might go have
Yeah.
dinner somewhere else with like a friend. Do you ever like make plans when you have time coming up? Like outside of like, if you're going somewhere, I know you went to like, you go to concerts occasionally, right?
Mhm.
Out of town concerts or things like that. Like, do you ever plan other things around events like that?
I think I used to. Um I will say this, COVID really threw
Mm,
me out of a lot of routines, and I
sure.
think part of it, it almost I think I've said maybe said this before, it gave me permission to not feel bad about not having plans. Because a lot of
Mm.
times you
Oh, yeah.
say I swear to God, even still, and I've gotten better at not letting it, like, be something, but, like, whenever even when if I go to a doctor or I go get my hair cut and people are like, "What are your plans for the summer?" And I'm like, "I don't got any." And then
Mhm.
they're kinda like, "Hmm." And so then it's I don't know, it just feels like this expectation, like,
Sure.
well, if you're not having something fabulous happen, then, like, what are you doing? And so I guess for me, it's like the world has just been I'm trying not to be a downer, like, I just truly feel like it's been really hard to just feel like being able to do more than just the basics when I'm not doing the work. Our work is
Mm,
really hard, and it's definitely been even harder. So then when it comes to taking time off, like, I think that's one reason I like doing things alone because it's like it's quiet. Like,
sure. Sure.
and I saw this post on Instagram, I always joke about how it's both like it's a double-edged sword. It's like you get a lot of trash, but you also get some, perspectives that you can relate to.
Some nuggets. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was this woman who's as a therapist who was talking about how, like, being a seasoned therapist, her relationships have changed so much, whereas she said something like, "Sometimes group events feel easier because the
Mm,
one-on-one can feel very intense in terms of a lot of times the people that I am friends with, they wanna,
yeah.
like if they're not other therapists, like, they kinda just wanna I think they know that I'm somebody you can talk to, and so then they wanna, like, share, which is great, but also
Sure.
it's kinda like it's hard because I feel like sometimes I don't know how to disengage from that part of wanting to say more as opposed to just be like, "Oh, yeah, mhm." And so but
Yeah.
that's also who I am. I mean, that's part of why I'm a therapist is because I like to engage in those questions. So I feel like it's almost like that's the hard part about this work for me personally
Mhm.
is that I put so much energy into the work I do so that when I do finally get a break, I just feel like I'm, like, basically recharging enough for the next break, which is
Yeah.
says a lot about, like, a lot of things, but also,
Sure.
um, yeah, yeah, I don't even remember what was the original question.
Wha like, what do you look forward to, or what do you maybe make sure is a part of your time off?
Mm,
I've had a similar experience where I've had to negotiate and navigate, like, the group dynamic and the one-on-one dynamic, and something
mhm,
that I've started to build in is, like, an afternoon or a whole day apart, alone.
mhm,
Like, if I'm part of a group vacation, like, there's gonna be an expectation at some point where I'm just not gonna see my group that day or that for half a day or whatever it might be. Like, "Hey, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. We're gonna
oh, are
do
you
our
talking
own
about,
thing
like, on
today."
an actual vacation?
Like, if I'm on a vacation,
Okay,
right?
yeah,
If I'm
sorry,
actually
I was in my
in a
mind I'm
group.
like, "What do you mean?
Yeah.
You're what are there's people in your house? Because 'Cause you're on a staycation like me?"
But even if it's one-on-one and it could
Yeah,
be at home, like I was just talking about, or it can be away, like, even having those few hours to just be by yourself, like, that
mhm,
feels like a vacation within a vacation. To me, like, it's just time to just be you, to exist, right? And again, not have to negotiate, not have to, like, talk about anything, not have to have mental energy for conversations, like, I can sit there and scroll or read or nap or whatever I wanna do.
yeah,
Those are I feel like that's an important piece of that time off that is recharging for so many people.
mhm.
That sounds like it is for you.
It is, but I also don't feel like it's enough, so so I'm just like
Is that enough to recharge you?
yeah, because then, like, all the other stuff like, I think that's the thing too is, like,
Yeah.
I feel like I try to, like, shut out all the unnecessary bullshit that is just,
Mm,
like, draining me, and so then it's kinda like I had to open my door to back to the bullshit, and I just am like, "Yep, here we go. Put on your armor and get out there and do it."
mm.
And, And so, yeah, like, in a way, that's what I do a lot of kinda like, I mourn the end of vacations or time
Oh,
away or
sure.
whatever
Yeah.
because a lot of times, like I mean, sometimes I'm like, "Yeah, it's time to go home," and I'm ready to go home, but then I'm not ready to go back to, like, the thick of
The
the
circus. Yeah.
work, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and so, yeah, it's just yeah, it's tricky.
When you're taking a break, however you want to define that, right? What really does like bring your energy back? When do you really feel sort of renewed or restored?
I'm sorry, it's, like, feeling like it's hard to reach right now. Um,
I can give you my example if you want.
please.
So, uh, I was actually just talking to a client about this the other day. There's like a decompression zone that happens when I haven't had time off in a while. And it's like
Mhm,
usually the first 48 to 72 hours. Like I'm still thinking about work. I can still feel my internal tempo is still faster than I would like it to be, right? I'm not actually relaxed like in my bones. And so during those first 2 or 3 days, I'm really just allowing myself back into my own natural rhythms. And then if I'm really then in time off mode, then it feels like I'm actually recharging, right? And sometimes
mhm,
it's different things for me. Sometimes it's new experiences, sometimes it's seeing people I haven't seen in a while, sometimes it's a new place, sometimes it's different weather from what's happening at home. Um, but that break in routine and then that like recognizing the decompression that's happening, that really helps. Like that. Yeah, I feel like that's what brings me back is being able to let go of all of my responsibilities and
mhm.
just exist, and then I can, right, feel like myself again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any of that resonate with you?
Honestly, like, I feel like even, like, when I look back, my last, like, vacation where I traveled a ways away was when I went and visited my friend in Texas,
Mm,
and it was a really great trip. And simultaneously, like, I think part of it, what really stresses me out is, like, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of
mm.
money. And so I like,
Just
throughout
to
the
leave
whole thing,
home.
I kind of, like,
Yeah.
am holding this space for, like, don't let that stop you from doing things, but also I have to be careful because it's like I'm spending all this in the hotel, and at that time I had to get a rental car because my I
Mm,
didn't have the money to buy a new car, but I needed a better car than the one I had to get all the way there. And so I think like that's also the double-edged sword about vacations for me. It's like if that's what it always feels like this thing that's like unreachable in a real
mm,
way is because it's like I feel like it's almost like I get punished for it because I can't get ahead enough to, like, have a ton of money put aside to do that, and I also, like I have in the past, I don't wanna end up in more credit card debt, and
right.
so I which has happened before because of,
Mm,
like, charging vacations on credit cards or on hotels
sure,
or whatever, and
sure.
so I think, like, that's the other part of it too, why staycations feel easier for so many reasons is because it's like, I feel like it's not taking away from me or anything. Like, I'm not
Mhm.
losing something because I get to sit still and no one can be mad at me because it's already been my rent has been paid for, it's expected. My utilities were gonna be paid for, it's expected. So, maybe I will, like, rent movies that I wouldn't have rented or
Oh, yeah, yeah.
something like that. But otherwise, yeah, it's really and this is something I am curious about if this is something that is common for other people. Like, do most of your friends vacation? Because maybe it's just a difference in like friend groups too. Because like I
Mm,
have people that go on vacations, but I guess maybe I'm just the one that doesn't vacation much because I just don't feel like I have the means to do it in a way that I feel comfortable doing.
sure. A lot of people that I know, I think, do like the long weekends or the weeks nearby at like Airbnbs, right? Like we've done for some of our retreats before. Um, I'm thinking of like my brother, um, some cousins that I'm close to, other people that I know. Like, sure, there's and you're right. Like my husband and I probably take more vacations we probably take the most vacations of anybody that we know. But we're also very well resourced and don't have kids to spend money on and really
Right?
enjoy traveling together. And so, well, why not? Right? It feels
Yeah.
like part of living our best lives.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, like that seems to be sort of the norm is like a week at a time or, a long weekend at a time, 3, 4, 5 days. And then even something nearby so that plane fare isn't part of the equation or that, you can rent a house with a kitchen so that you're not buying every single meal. You can
Mhm.
cook some, right? Groceries kind of keep the costs down. And then those
Mhm.
places typically have games or pools or hot tubs or stuff that is outside of the norm at home. And so that
Yeah.
feels like a break, right? It feels like something fun. Or there's, something nearby, right? There's some putt golf nearby. Just stuff like that, right? So like, yeah, I definitely think like, I mean, just given the state of things, like budgets are very high on people's nobody wants to pay 20% of credit card charges more for their vacations if they don't have to, right? And so I
Yeah.
think a lot of
And
us are
fuel
paying
right
really.
now, like, oof.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that's a whole other like that was honestly that's part of the reason I wanted to do this episode was because I feel like we all feel everybody feels burned out and just sort of right like we're burning the candle at both ends or however whatever other idioms you want to use to describe that.
Yeah.
But then also, like, we're all being squeezed. We're all being like, our wallets are all being right? Like, because of all of these things, because of fuel costs and because of groceries and because of whatever. I feel like fuel costs drive all costs up.
Mhm.
Just because everything needs to get from point A to point B, and then if fuel costs more, then sure, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so like that was part of the reason I wanted to do this was because we all feel like we need it and we're all having to adjust and make the best of what we can do with the resources that we have. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So one of my favorite games to play is what
Do
would
you
you
go, like, are you a full vacation? Like, do you go are you super planned? Are you, like, super, like, itinerary man?
no. My husband would be if I let him. I'm an adventurer. I'm the one who likes to sort of like just buy the
Meander?
ticket and maybe book the hotel and to just go, what is there to do today, right? We, so when we took our honeymoon, we took 2 weeks, and we did a week in Barcelona and a week in London. I might have told you the story before, but, when we split it up like that, like Barcelona was my pick and London was his pick. And so I think we did Barcelona first. Yeah, we did Barcelona first. And I was like, I'm gonna choose one thing every day that we know we're gonna go do or see and everything else that we is going to be however we're feeling that day. If there's another thing that's nearby or we want to go see it and we want to great. We've got the energy, we've got the time, great. If we're feeling lazy or tired or it's hot or what we want to lay by the pool for great. We're going to do that instead,
Mhm.
right? So it was literally just we knew how we were getting there, we knew where we were sleeping, and then we had one thing and it was really a great tempo. So we got to wander and we got to fly by the seat of our pants. And then we also got to make sure we saw some of the big things, right? When we
Yeah.
went.
That
My
sounds
friend Will and
nice.
yeah, my friend Will and I did that too. Like this is a long, long time ago before I even met my husband, but we split the planning of a couple of weeks in Europe. Again, the same kind of a thing. And I think we figured out, like I figured out on that trip, like that's a really great way to do things is to have like kind of like one thing and then just explore to see how you're feeling or see what's interesting. I have some fantastic memories from that trip too. But what I was going to say about my favorite game to play is like if I didn't have to work,
Mm.
what would I go what would I go see and do, right? This is the if
And
I
this
won
is
the
with the
lottery.
idea that, like, money is not a thing you have to worry
Right.
about.
If I won the
Okay.
lottery, right? If I won the lottery and I could go anywhere or do anything, like what would I do? Um, that's one of my favorite, like, I don't know. And I think if I don't have something, if I don't have a vacation to look forward to or something like that, like, and then I'm just sort of fantasizing. It's funny that has kind of an uplifting effect. As I'll just be driving and thinking,
I
like,
just
yeah,
remembered
I'll
what I was gonna say.
go for it. Go ahead.
Because you just said that about fantasizing. I
Yeah.
realized something about me too is to me, fantasizing about vacations feels like window shopping, and I don't like
Mhm.
window shopping because if I can't
Oh.
buy it, it makes me sad.
Oh. So you have the
Yeah, because
opposite
I'm just like, I
feeling about
want
it.
it, and so if I can't have it, then I'm just like,
Did you
like, and if it
freeze? Did
doesn't
I
feel
lose
like it's
you?
something that's easily in reach, then
You're
I'm like, I don't wanna think about it
not
anymore
with me
because
anymore.
then it's just gonna make me feel worse.
So window shopping, you're like you have the opposite feeling about
Yeah, like, I
imagining,
just if I can't
fantasizing,
step
yeah.
into the store and participate in that process, then I
Mm.
feel like I'm just yeah, just like my face
It's
is
like a
pressed against the
tease.
window of cool shit, and I'm
Okay,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, wow, that'd be cool if I would" like, I frequently resonate with the idea of I wanna be where the people are. Like, in the sense of, like, people who have the shit together, who
Mm.
can, like who have the access to a lot of the stuff because I just that's the one thing that I wonder how much that drives some of the insanity of comparison because of social media is because we
Mm.
now see
Oh,
everyone's version
there's
of
so
what they
much.
do on vacations and influencers that are getting paid to do these things and how fabulous they are and it just looks like a dream. And so
Mm.
then it's almost like I don't even know what to like that's a life. Like that's almost like to me I'm like like even when I was a kid we did road trips to very basic places. Like
Oh,
we
yeah.
only took one trip on a plane, and that was when I was 4 years old.
Mm.
And the rest of them were road trips, and they weren't necessarily to really cool places. The farthest we went was to Ohio because we did a giant family trip with, like, several of our aunts, uncles, cousins to go see other extended family members, and it was a great
Mm.
time. We had so much fun, and it's one of my
Sure.
favorite trips, but also it wasn't like, some people talk like I've never had a true, like, family beach vacation. I've never,
Mm.
done a nice resort. I know I know you're the cruise boy. So, like,
Mm.
it's so there's just all these different things that it's like, it feels like I see these things in movies or, like and then or people like me, like you, and I'm like,
Sure.
"Oh, that's cool." And then it's also like,
We did a lot of that growing up. We did, I think our summer vacation for the first 10 years of my life was, a week at a campground. But, like, it was fun. Like, it was family, it was somewhere else, it was campfires, it was, whatever, chasing squirrels through the woods or
yeah,
fishing
that
or
sounds miserable
it was
for me.
as a kid, we loved it. As a kid, we loved it. I think my mom hated every minute of it because that's why we start when when she started working was when we started taking different kinds of trips.
Yeah.
But we would also go stay at, like, a cottage like, Northern Illinois, which it literally had no indoor plumbing. We would have to go down to the well and get our water, and then we'd go to the outhouse to go to the bathroom, and it was but my cousins, they had property, and they had just this tiny little hut that could sleep, like, 12 people, and that's all it was essentially just a bunkhouse, and that's where we would spend a week. It was we didn't know
Guess it's just the
any
difference in how
different,
we're
but
built.
yeah, yeah. But that's what I grew up with, so that was
Mhm.
what was normal to me, was that was kind of a time away, but now I much prefer staying in a hotel or a cruise ship or something
Yeah.
along those lines, much more comfortable and accommodating. Um, so yeah, do you have maybe, like, one I know you don't like to fantasize about it, or, like, one bucket list
It's
item?
not that I just don't like to, like, stay in the fantasy because then
Oh,
it's just
sure.
like,
Okay, sure.
well, that's a nice thought. Yeah.
But, like, did you tell me the other day or maybe recently, like, Australia? Like, that'd be,
Mhm.
like, a fantastic yeah,
I have several. Oh, yeah. I can just, like,
yeah.
rattle off, like,
Go
million
ahead.
places. I wanna
Yeah,
go
give
to
it to me.
Australia. I wanna
Mhm.
go to Nantucket. I wanna go to Greece. I wanna go to, like, London. I wanna go
Mm.
to Hawaii. I wanna go to
Mhm.
San Diego. I have my cousin Kelsey that lives out there. Um, I wanna go to the Pacific Northwest. I would love to, like, even go more, like, to see some national parks, one day maybe. yeah, like, I'd love to do a trip to Mexico.
Sure.
Love to see, like, I mean, like, Germany, Denmark is definitely a place that I've, always thought, like, anywhere in that territory, like Sweden, anything like that, like, I just
Mhm.
have always wanted to, like, explore places, and even when we were talking about, like, even with staycations, it's like, that is the one thing, and I've had this conversation with some clients where I'm like, that's the cool one of the cool things about being on the East Coast is because you can jump on a train and
Mm,
within a few hours be in a new state that isn't too
yeah,
far away, but has something completely different than where you're at.
right.
And not to say that that's cheap, but it's also like it could be a day trip.
Sure.
And like, how fucking cool is that? You know?
It is pretty neat. Yeah, you go up and down basically the entire East Coast. You get almost anywhere
Yeah.
on a train from New York
Maine, I always
all
wanted
the way
I
down
always
to
thought
yeah.
about I wanna just, like I've never even been to Maine, but I just have this idea of, like, wearing cable knit sweaters and looking up pensively on the ocean crashing on the rocks and
And
going, "This is my life," as I drink my coffee.
and go down to the harbor and eat lobster.
Yes, I know, and I'm not even a big seafood guy, but maybe that's just because I
Yeah,
haven't, like, been places
sure.
where, like, there's excellent seafood of that kind of quality.
Being in a landlocked state, it's tough to come by, like, actual really fresh fish and seafood here. It's
Yeah.
tough. Whenever we go to Seattle, I make sure that if when we're
Oh,
going out for dinner,
Seattle,
I'm like, I
yes, I
have
wanna
to
go to
get
Seattle.
yeah. I was as a '90s grunge kid, that was what I was fantasizing about living was in Seattle,
Oh,
and now I
yeah.
have family there. I get to go visit, so it's actually
That's
kind of
awesome.
it's pretty neat, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. My bucket list has
Yeah,
sort
what
of
about you? I mean,
changed.
you've done a
Yeah.
lot, but, like, what
I've
else
done a
is
lot,
left?
yeah. I've not been to Hawaii or Australia. I've not seen much of Asia. I've been to Hong
Mhm.
Kong. Um, I would love we were gonna go to
Yeah,
Japan.
Tokyo would be
Um,
amazing.
that's definitely up there. Like, that would be something I wanna do in the next couple of years if we can make it happen, but there's just so it's so J Japan is known for being kind of insular in terms of, like, welcoming to other cultures or citizens of other nations, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah. There's basically no English spoken over there, like, Japanese is basically the only, right? Um but because of that, their culture is so rich and so almost like pure, uninfluenced from,
Mhm.
like, other places, that to me makes that such a draw. It's almost
Yeah.
like going to explore, like, Alaska, which was incredible, but, like, that untouched wilderness kind of thing, like, those kinds
Mhm.
of and it's really what I'm looking for is experiences. So
Right.
if that's what the bucket list for me is about, is, like, what are the cool can we go see the cherry blossoms in Japan, right? Can we go to, Hawaii and learn how to surf or whatever, like, whatever the kind of those things are.
Yeah.
Taj Mahal, like, I know it's
Mm.
not super welcoming over in that area of the world for gay people, but
I
it's
mean, it'd
okay.
still be
It's like
cool to see up close. Yeah.
it's an incredible like, it's unparalleled piece of architecture that
I mean,
exists
just to
that
see
was
it in a
built.
photo is, like,
Yeah, yeah,
incredible.
yeah, but to be up close to something like that was built by human hands, like, it's just yeah, it's just super, super cool, so,
Yeah.
yeah, that's I don't know, that's the short version of my bucket list.
Do you ever pretend to be someone else when you travel, Jason?
Sometimes I think so. I don't. Maybe as a much younger person, I would think about doing that. I remember doing that like a drunk night out somewhere where I was just like trying. I was pretending that my name was different and I was from a different place,
So did you
try
have
to
to,
see what
like,
accent
introduce
or
yourself as somebody else and everything? And have, like,
I
a whole
think so.
backstory?
Like, I think I remember one instance of doing that. I don't know that I kept it up for the whole evening, but it's definitely a memory that I have. Um, but I think what I more tap into is, like, what are the parts of myself that get it more ignored on a regular basis? Like, I don't meet a ton of new people and have conversations with strangers a lot. So,
Yeah.
like, my outgoingness,
Outside of the
I'll
ones that pay you.
Exactly, yeah. I'll dial that up when I'm
Mhm.
vacationing, and I'll just kind of make eye contact and say hi and, say, "Happy cruising to you," or, what or, "Hey, where are you guys from?" "We're from Chicago," whatever, all those sort like, "Yeah, we're
Sorry,
from
when you
Arkansas,
said
we're from
happy
Chicago,"
no, when
wherever,
you
I
said
know,
happy
yeah.
cruising, I'm like, "Happy Pride."
Oh, it's the same thing in your head? Yeah.
You couldn't
It's
help
not
it, I'm
what the
sorry.
kind of cruising I was talking about, yeah.
I know.
So yeah. Yeah, I know. But I think those parts, like the adventuring part, the social part, even sometimes like the creative part or silly parts of me, like those are the parts that I kinda put out more forward. And, that's how I think I have the most fun when I'm away from home, when I'm taking time off.
Yeah.
What about you?
No.
No. Okay, very good. Moving on. Um,
I know.
wait, so I didn't ask you this. So are you a planner or an adventurer or a little of both?
Hmm. If I'm going somewhere where someone has like, they're the local and I'm visiting
Mhm.
them, then, like, a lot of times they will know things that they think I would like
Oh,
to
yeah.
see or things that they really have enjoyed because of their time there that they wanna show me, and so
Mhm.
I'm definitely always I wanna see what people think. Like, not even just what I would think is cool, but, like, what they think is like, "Oh, yeah, you wanna see this, like, downtown," or "You wanna check out, like, this is the best burger in this city," or,
Mhm.
like, a really cool beach spot or whatever. That to me, like, is the most important. It's been s I mean, I can't even I don't know if I, as an adult, have ever taken a vacation where I really made or had an itinerary because
Mm.
I don't think I've reached that level. And yeah, so I think that I don't have experiences there.
Okay. Okay. It's more of like a, where you're going or who you're gonna see when you get there, and then whatever else happens,
Yeah.
you just go with it. But that's comfortable for you.
I mean, of course, I'd love to do more, but I just think that's what works out that way. Like, I think also too, like, I'm usually going for a reason. I don't know. I can't think of a time that I have traveled somewhere where it
Mhm.
was just because I wanted to go there. It was usually like, I mean, I want to go these places, but like, it's usually like I'm seeing a person or doing a thing. So it's not like I'm going here because I've always wanted to go here and discover that. I haven't gone to unlock that kind of vacation, and I think,
Mm.
and that's for a lot of reasons, but, yeah, so, like, yeah, I'm just very underdeveloped in this area.
Hmm, okay. Are you more developed in, like, like, the staycation, in, like, the never mind. I won't go there.
It's like, I don't know how to answer that.
I know you don't. I know
You're
you don't.
really you know what you do on the weekends? Are you doing good at doing that for a week?
Yeah. Yeah. I get excited when I have something on the calendar, like my
Mhm.
husband and I have something planned, or we know we're going somewhere soon or in future months. Um, there's a real boost that I get from that. Like there's
Yeah.
a almost like I'm being pulled towards it. I can see it. I know it's coming, and I feel almost like motivated by getting to the finish line, right? Getting to that particular event.
Mhm.
Do you have similar experiences? Do you get like that buzz or that motivation or however you want to
Oh, yeah.
describe it?
I'm always, like, when I even just knowing, like, with Christmas break,
Mm,
I know from I've been lucky enough, like, this is how I've been able to compartmentalize my not compartmentalize, I guess the way that I've been able to, I guess, arrange my vacation dates when I was at a traditional company was
mm.
I'd always try to use the holiday because there would always be days that were already blacked off holidays, and then you could plug in other days around it
Oh
so you
yeah,
could best
yeah.
maximize the
Mhm.
time off. And so I now, am completely paying for all that. But it is super like yeah, when I know that even with like Memorial Day, we just had that recently,
Mm,
like just knowing that that was coming was like another day to I know like on Sunday, that's not really my Sunday. Like it's the
mhm,
next day. And so that always feels like I'm cheating the system or something. But even when like we did our recent spring retreat for our work peeps, like I
mhm.
remember just the whole week just telling people like I just need to get to that day. Like I just all I want to do is like get to a lake house and
Yeah,
like put my stuff down and like look at the beautiful view, and yeah, and so I think
yeah,
that definitely is something that it does make me a little it gives me, I feel like that same feeling of senioritis of, like, when I have to, like, check myself with clients of being like,
sure.
stay more present. Like, I know
Uh-huh, yeah,
your brain is going, 2 more
yeah,
sessions until
yeah.
you are on vacation. But it's also, I
Yeah,
also though,
uh-huh,
like, sometimes when I know it's, like, my last session, I'm like, "Yes, let's give it all we got. We can do
mhm,
this," you know?
mhm, yeah,
So, yeah, I definitely have that, like, anticipatory feeling when I know, like, "Oh, a break is coming," and I just yeah, the feeling I just feel like I can exhale. Like, it really feels like my breathing space just increases so much
sure,
just knowing I don't have to follow my usual routine. I like
yeah,
breaking that up. It just feels like I'm not playing into the same bullshit all the time.
yeah,
What about
yeah.
you?
It's funny that you say the senioritis thing because I'm like, I was thinking about it. I'm like, oh, when I was a senior, I thoroughly gave no shits all the way through the end to the finish line. There was no like last second boost where I was like, let's give it our all. I
Oh, well,
do
yeah,
that
I think it's a little
now, right?
different. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, now I know the benefits of like having all my ducks in a row before I leave. Like if I can
Mhm.
clear out my inbox or set up all my sessions for the week that I get back, I don't have to think about, right? Pay all the bills, whatever adult responsibilities are. Like if I can get those all tidied up by
Yeah,
the finish line, that's my real push. And
yeah.
then I'm like, then I can really sink into the vacation. I really feel like I'm, taking time away but yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, that's a good description. That's senioritis. That's a good description. Even coming back from I was actually just talking about this the other day, coming back from that retreat,
Mhm.
like, I felt really good coming back from that,
Yeah.
and I actually I will randomly think about, like was there 2 nights? I think it was the first night and the last night where we all just kinda, like, sat out on the deck and looked at the stars.
Definitely that first night, yeah.
Definitely the first night, but, like, that was, like we did that for hours.
Mhm.
I haven't sat and looked at the sky for hours. I don't know, decades maybe? Like, it's
Mhm.
been a really long time, and I actually
Yeah.
when I think about that and how relaxing that was, like, that is I can almost get back there, almost continue that feeling.
Mhm.
So, a lot of I guess a lot of, like, sustaining that feeling or is the memories of the things that I did there, but, I mean, I don't know, what else? What other ways do you let the vacation feeling linger or bring it back into the room when you need it?
I don't know. I don't know if I do that. I definitely have I return and I have definitely like a surplus of if I've had enough time to rest and,
Mhm.
block it off and make that work, I definitely return. Usually I usually have a good couple weeks where I'm like,
Mm,
yeah, like I'm back in the groove and I had this time to,
mm,
decompress and blah blah blah. But like I I think that because I'm always in this place of wanting to just be on vacation or just be in beautiful places doing little to nothing
Very
unless
little,
I just
yeah.
feel very yeah, like, I think that's, the other part of it. I think my emotional exhaustion just from the state of the
Mm,
world and then,
yeah.
like, the work that I stumbled into as a young adult, basically, it's like I need that time of just sort of letting my brain, like, stop sizzling
Mm,
to be able to get to a part where I'm like, "Yeah, let's go do something cool." Like,
Yeah.
I think like the way that we did our most recent retreat, we this was the first time that we did 3 nights as opposed to just 2.
Right.
And so which I
Way
feel like
better.
was a game changer because yeah, by that second night, knowing that we had a whole other day before we were gonna have to like, we had a whole other thing of activities. It was like I could totally like exhale and be like, okay, it's not gonna be over. Like I think that's the other thing too is I really struggle when I'm like on vacation and being like, oh God, it's almost halfway. It's already halfway over. It's already
Mhm.
like, and it just makes me sad. Like I think,
Mhm.
I don't know. I wonder if I in a past life I was just some like bougie piece of shit and my like my karma in this new life is to like to constantly, look from afar and go, oh. And so, yeah,
You
looking
were
back is
royalty.
something that I hate. This gonna sound like a downer, but like it's almost like I don't want to because I just want to be there, and then I
Mm,
can't be there, and so
yeah.
then I don't want to dwell on that. I just have to accept my reality, and I don't
Mm,
know if there's just a way I need to reframe it for me to feel like. Yeah, like I of course I can look back like a few months later and be like, "Oh, that was so much fun." And I still
yeah.
have those thoughts, but like to actually actively look back on it and think about it, it's more of a mourning. It really is.
Yeah. I thought for sure you were gonna say something about music when I asked you that question.
What do you mean?
Like, because music is so important to you, because you just, I feel like you appreciate it more than the average human, like, hearing a song or having an album that's part of a road trip or something along those lines, like, you could go back and, like, listen to that album that you listened to on that road trip, and it would bring you back to the experiences, like, that kinda stuff feels like it would be right up your alley.
Hmm. I do
Um
have probably the most recent musical memory I have was like almost like yeah, our fall retreat last time was when
mm,
um it was Rebecca, Asher, Elise, and myself, and we were heading back, and I was playing Taylor's Folklore album, and the
mm,
song, "Exile" is this great duet between Taylor and Bonavere, and
mm.
like, it's just it's great and, like, we had a whole sing-along as a car, and,
Aw.
like, we were all doing, like, the different parts, and it was just, like yeah, it was just such a great moment, and also we were driving out of, like, the national forest that was around there, so
Oh,
it was
yeah,
just,
yeah.
like, scenery-wise, it was beautiful, the vibes were great, like, we had a really nice time, so,
Mhm.
yeah, like, that was if you wanna think about, like, a musical moment, yeah, and also, I mean, back in the day, when we didn't have streaming music, I used to make mixed CDs. And so I
Mm.
would like, so in college, if I was like going somewhere to see someone and me and a friend were going to like, ugh, I don't know how many fucking weddings I feel like I used to go to in my 20s. And like, I would have like road trip mixes. And so like, those would
Yeah,
be like our soundtracks and things like that. So,
I love that. Yeah,
um,
that's great.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What about
Nice.
you?
Okay.
Do
Yeah.
you have any sort of other things that you do to sustain your vacation vibes? Or I know you're always planning the next one, so I know that's part of it.
That that does help, like, having something to look there's literal research around this, but, like,
Yeah.
having something to look forward to can
Mhm.
be just I think the comparison is it can be just as powerful as an antidepressant,
Oh, yeah.
in terms of a mood booster. So, yeah, so having something to look forward to is nice for sure. Um, we're not 100% at it for, various reasons, but,
Yeah.
we're gonna go back to Alaska later this year, and so I know that that's on the calendar and that's really was an incredible experience, and we're gonna do other things while we're there,
Yeah.
that we didn't do last time, but I just know, like, how beautiful it is and how I don't know, just yeah, so but to answer your question, yeah, I think a lot of it is, memories. A lot of it is so for me, something I like to do when I take a trip, especially to a new place, is, bring back, an article of clothing that I will wear.
Huh.
That's, like, my favorite thing to do,
Yeah.
and it's not like, some silly gift shop T-shirt, like, I actually wanna go, like, find something that I will wear every day, and then when I put that on, I go, "Oh, that's my Amsterdam sweater," or, "Oh, those are my Hong Kong shoes," or, "Oh, that's a" so I like to do just a little bit of clothes shopping if I
That's
can
cool.
on those trips. Yeah, and then that for me, like, when I touch that thing or I decide to wear that thing, I'm like, yeah, like, this is cool. I got this in a different place, right? And it just kind of brings me back there just for a few seconds. So
That's awesome.
that's a fun piece that I like to do. I
Mhm.
like to, yeah, nice.
All right. Well, Jason, since you drove this episode and I can
Mm.
tell you love vacations, what do you feel like is your takeaway that you hope that other people will walk away with today?
Um, I think so, but maybe the biggest sort of underlying theme in all of this is that um, taking a break is a form of just loving yourself. Like
Mhm.
we all deserve rest. We all deserve time away. We know that it's good for us. It doesn't have to be outrageously expensive. Sometimes there's a cost. Sometimes it's only time that is the cost. But whenever we shake up our routines, whenever we take time off from the day-to-day drudgery, like we feel better. And
Mhm.
so I think we all deserve that. I not think. I know we all deserve that. So that's my takeaway is like take whatever break you can, shake it up however you can shake it up. Um and do that because your body needs that and your mind and your mental health needs that.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah. I guess my takeaway that like I don't think I realized until we began recording was just that this topic is hard for me
Mm,
because it's hard to feel like I can imagine higher level lofty stuff and also I just can't shut off like my sadness for people like when you said like oh yeah if you could just take time off and I just think about like all of the single parents out there who just don't have that
I know.
option.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so many people that don't have this option. And so even just like when I bitch about only getting like a long weekend, I know the luxury of that. And so maybe that's
Mm,
also it is just trying to like have gratitude because I know like there's levels
mm,
to the, I guess, the things that we get in life. And so at least I'm not at
sure.
like a level where I get nothing, even if it doesn't feel like enough. And also, I guess my hope is that people can somehow get lucky enough to like find those opportunities if their world allows it or they
Yeah.
find a way to make it happen because I think it's just I don't know how families do it, you know. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wish vacations were more accessible and I wish that we lived in a world that honored it more or a country. Let me just say that a country
A
that
country.
honors it
Yeah.
more. Because I
Yeah.
think other countries do. They do holidays and all this
Yeah.
stuff versus, like, oh, you get your 10 days off a year if you're lucky.
Yeah. And maybe plus bank holidays, maybe.
And you hope, like, oh, and
Yeah.
also that usually includes like, sick time is included in that. That's not separate.
No.
So yeah. So yeah, I think
Yeah. It's gross.
I'm feeling very attuned with the time of I hate that this feels like it's so lofty when
Mm,
people deserve to have experiences. And I hope maybe that things can shift one day where more people get opportunities and can have these really cool things. And yeah,
yeah.
travel is good for us.
It is. Yeah.
And time off, of course, just period. Staycations are good
Yeah.
for us too.
There's one of my just a quick aside, one of my favorite comics, Tom Segura, he talks about in one of his specials, he talks about having kids for like having his first kid and how much your life changes when that happens. So you're just talking about like, single parents. Um, but he was talking about you no longer have time as a parent, but you have moments. And he's like, you may not have time to just sit and stare and decompress and do whatever you choose to do,
Yeah.
but you may have 3 minutes where you're just really enjoying your coffee and grateful for your coffee or whatever that. So it's a huge
That
shift in
makes me want to throw
perspective.
up.
Well, I know, but
I know. I get it
it just
though.
was
I get
great.
it.
It was just a great point, I thought. So yeah,
I know,
anyway,
which also then
yeah.
makes me go, exactly why I don't I'm so glad I never,
When you have
like,
kids,
ended up with kids
yeah,
because, like,
yeah,
that's I think about this on a almost daily basis of, like,
on the
I don't
daily,
know how parents do this.
I
I
know,
don't because I know I
yeah,
feel like I am
hmm
shortchanged of so much, like, energy and time on things
hmm
when I have like my own ass, and that's it. I'm not responsible for anything else but myself. And yet there are people that have a whole ass family unit that I
Mhm.
know part of it is they're empowered by that. Like that drives them is this is their dream is to have had this family. But also
Mhm.
like that it's not easy and it's pretty exhausting. And also
Yeah.
it's like you said, it's not your own. It's
Right.
usually like what's best for
Right.
them or for the collective. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's a good point.
Yeah. Nice. Well, how about a secret question? Did you come up with one for me?
I did. I did. So, Jason, as you said, you are a big traveler. If you could
Mm.
recommend a vacation based off of
Ooh.
all of the different trips or experiences you've had that you think
Whoa.
most people would, like a majority of people would
Okay.
really enjoy, that you think like this is a place like it's going to be hard for you not to have an incredible experience, likely.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if you could pick one, where would you pick and why?
This is a great question. Uh, I want to give two answers because I feel like there's two types of vacation, two like big types of vacations that I've been on that I could recommend for depending on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Um, I would recommend like a, a a cruise or an all inclusive resort for a week because those can be truly relaxing.
Hmm.
On a cruise, there's tons of stuff to do, or there's nothing to do, and you don't have to plan most of it, and you just have to show up to dinner and they'll feed you, or you can go down into the snack place and get snacks or ice cream, or you can nap all day. I know people who have just stayed in their room on the cruise ship for 5 of the 7 days, and this literally just because it was restful. Like it's
Mm.
great, whatever floats, literally floats your boat.
Yeah.
So one of those, like that's a really, really restful. I think either one of those can be restful, and the all inclusives are the same way, right? You just literally lay by the pool all day long. It's incredible. Um, and then the other thing, the other I would say, like just because I've been there twice, Barcelona.
Mhm.
Barcelona has such rich culture and food and there's so many people and there's a never ending amount of things to see and do that are both modern and cultural, but then also historical
Mhm.
and artistic, and like it's just an incredible, incredible city to see and to experience. So that would be like if you're into doing lots of things and want lots of things to go see and do. Spain and in particular Barcelona is just incredible to experience. So
Nice.
good question. Though. I like that. That's good.
Thanks.
Yeah, yeah, nice. All right. What are you shouting out this week?
I am shouting out season 2 of The Four Seasons that
Whoop,
just
whoop.
came out. I haven't completed it because I'm trying to, like, parse it out because
Mhm.
it is only 8 episodes, but that's also what I love about it. It's because I can essentially watch for anybody that doesn't know, it's a show that is produced by Tina Fey, stars her as well.
Mm.
Tina Fey,
Coleman
Coleman
Domingo.
Domingo, Will Forte,
Mhm.
and others. And basically, it's this group of friends that have known each other for a really long time. They're all, I would say, in their early to mid 50s.
Mhm.
And basically, it takes place in the different four seasons. So the first two episodes start off with spring and then summer and then winter. Or sorry, summer. Let's do the holidays and or those seasons in order. Spring and summer and then fall and then winter. And so, anyway, it's just like I think as I get older, I'm so grateful that there are creatives out there that are doing shows about the experiences of people that aren't just in their 20s and 30s. I
Mhm.
think that that's something that as I've gone older, I think I was, it's a weird thing to like face aging, but you always
Oh
feel
yeah.
like I can relate to teen shows still, and I can still appreciate, shows with people in their 20s. I still love that, and I will never not love that. But also, I love watching people who have lived life and that version of how that informs experiences and the relationships that you could only have with time. And I think that's what the Four Seasons captures really well for me. it feels like a great blend of like talking about the realities of what it's like to live life and the moments. It also the perfect, I guess, a perfect segue for this episode is because it's all about
Mm.
vacations. Like it's all about them either going to
Oh,
each
yeah,
other's
yeah.
like beautiful properties or other group vacations together.
Mhm.
And sort of like, I think as much as you escape from your stuff, it's also like it comes with you. And so
Mm.
maybe just how do you balance that and like what do you take from those experiences? And I think that that's what I get from the Four Seasons.
That's so cool. I did watch the first season of that last year when it came out and really enjoyed it. I haven't watched the second season yet, but I will. It's definitely on my
Yeah,
list.
it's a good
It's
one.
the weird thing about being in your 40s though too, like what you said, like you can still appreciate shows about people that are in their 20s and 30s, but then also you want a little bit of lived experience, you want a little bit of perspective and like
Oh,
I
I
don't know,
want it more and
it's
more. Like I look forward to the
yeah,
shows with people in their 50s, 60s, and onward because
right, yeah.
it shows you
It's
don't just die like after
right,
40. Like
right.
you actually like are still interesting and have sex and go and do like cool things. That's
Yeah,
important to like put out there. You don't just roll over
yeah.
and like wait for death, hopefully.
Not me. I'm not doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So what
that's really
about you?
cool.
What's
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
shout out?
Yeah. I have 2. I don't know what it is this week, but, I've been thinking a lot about my nieces and nephews, and so I'll just name them. So, Sophia and Liam and Henry and Bella, they've been on my mind a lot this week, but my nephew Liam found this podcast or was made aware of it or something and asked me for the link, and so I sent it to him, and so he's been listening, and I'm like, just so you know, buddy, there's some adult language on this, and I informed his parents, and they're all on
Okay,
board, and
good.
everybody's fine with it. Yeah, yeah, it was all very fine. But it really touched me that he knew about it
Yeah,
and wanted to listen. Whether or not he takes a bunch of stuff away from it doesn't matter. But
sure.
I love the young people in my life. They give me hope and inspiration and joy, and I've just been thinking a lot about them lately. So that's that.
That's sweet.
That's them, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other one is, we're doing well, I'm doing doing with my husband, our first real rewatch of Heated Rivalry. And it is even better the second time. Like, I part of me wishes I could go back and watch it for the first time, but
Mhm.
also, there's so many more layers to this. Like, Jacob Tierney is I know we've said it before a long time ago, but, like,
Yeah.
he's a genius. Like, he has created this show that you think is just about, like, 2 people falling in love, and it's not just that. There's so many layers. There's so much social commentary. There's almost like little Easter eggs in there. Some, like, it's incredible. Such a well done show, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it for the second time. So that's my other
Yeah.
one. He did Rivalry. Watch it if you haven't.
Well, also just, I like to give full credit. It's like props to author Rachel Reed for the original source material, the
Thank
books.
you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Because
Yeah.
yes, he has created a world out of it that has brought those books to
Yeah.
life from what I've heard. I haven't gotten a chance to read the books yet, but from
Yeah.
what I hear is people are very satisfied with it. And also, of
Mm.
course, I just think they're really well done. So yes, thank you to all those people who helped make that happen.
And they're starting to shoot season 2 later this summer, and it will be released, I think, in April of next year.
I saw that. Yeah. Very
Mhm.
exciting.
Yeah. Very cool. Nice.
Very cool.
Well, Shawnee, thank you. Thank you for struggling through some of this
Thank you for
today
taking the
for
struggle bus to your vacation destination.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
welcome. It was a little broken down and rickety, and there were lots of bumps and rust, but it was
That's
great. I'm glad
me.
it's and of course, we want to thank everybody who watches and listens. We love everybody who gives us their time and their attention, and we always hope that you learn something and are entertained by our our antics. Please like and subscribe. You can find us on Instagram at Collect Your Thoughts Podcast and on YouTube at Collect Your Thoughts. So yeah, tell your friends, tell your parents, tell your mom. Hi, Linda. Um, and we hope to see you next time. So we just want to also remind everybody to take a deep breath and
collect your thoughts.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.